Ladies and gentlemen, crypto heads around the world, the Monday Kickoff with real Daniel Nitze and Mr. Spread. Like, share, subscribe, and enjoy.
Hey Daniel.
Yo,
hello, man.
So the door is hearing. I can hear it twice. I don't know why. Here we go. We are live now, I think, and
Yep.
everyone can hear us perfectly. How are you, Mr. Spread? How's Bitcoin above 50K? Yeah. How do you feel seeing Bitcoin above 50K?
I feel good, man. I feel good. I was just rewatching what we were talking the last few times, and how that double fake out played out. And when we went above 45K, we just teleported to 50 to 52. Now it's very interesting because seeing Bitcoin above 50-52, I have in my mind that the runaway breakout and analogy that I was watching for quite some time. And if you remember, I also shared that. Let's just jump straight to the mustard. So
Let's go. Let's start with Bitcoin, right?
Exactly,
let's
with
see
Bitcoin.
how it goes. Cosmin says here that you scared the shit out of me, probably with the music, huh? Probably. I can see here Edmond says hello as well. So yeah, hello everyone on the chat. Yeah,
Hello, guys.
very happy that you guys are here, and we're gonna discuss, of course, all the markets today. But starting with the king, right? This one. With the king, let's see what the king is like doing. We're gonna do it
before we do that, let me answer to someone, because I see this question quite a lot of times. They're asking why 99% of the followers are Romanians, why do we speak in English? First of all, because X is an international platform. Second of all, I think it's common sense that in 2024 we should all know English, especially if we are on X, and especially if we are talking about investments and we're talking about trading, because some weird things will be if we will translate in our own language. First of all, and
true, and yeah, it's in the audience is way more spread in English, I would say, than in only in Romanian. So that's why we're trying to have this kind of content as well, to maybe appeal to more people in English, because we're living in 2024, so I think a lot of people know English by now.
Yeah, so I just wanted to clear that very well, and also as a respect for all the others, even if it's one person from 5,000 people, and if that person is not understanding our language, I think it's respectful for also that person to understand what we are talking here about. Okay, so we cleared out a little bit of ethical things. Now, for a few weeks, I would say for about 6-7 weeks, I was watching how this pattern on the Dow Jones, first of all, was unfolding, and how powerful was this runaway breakout. This is something that I don't see very often being talked about, and this is not something that happens a lot of times, but when it happens, the moves that come after are really explosive, and we watched that happening on Dow Jones. And when we went above the previous all-time high from 36,000 area, so we took out these highs, a lot of people started shorting, and it was a runaway breakout. So this is how it's called. It's a default pattern. But because I was watching and I was seeing quite the similarities between what happened to Dow Jones in the past and and it's also on the weekly chart, and what was happening with Bitcoin, I wrote a thread, and at that point in time, this runaway breakout was not confirmed. So at that point in time, we had Bitcoin somewhere around this area, and the runaway breakout was still with the question mark. Why? Because we leave price action to dictate, and we leave price action to show us the future moves. Nobody can predict the moves. However, we're talking about probabilities. We're not talking about certainties. So whenever I see these kind of patterns, I'm waiting for more confirmation. Besides the pattern that we had with the inverse head and shoulders and the double fake out that we were going to speak about on lower time frames, this runaway breakout was something that I was keeping my eyes on. And let's see what happened.
Yeah. What targets we have now from this
60K,
runaway?
60K is the first target, which is also a psychological level. And after that, of course, it's around the next all-time high. So just the next areas. Just let's see what happens since, because this runaway breakout was explained on Twitter before it happened, and let's see what price action did after.
Yeah, I think the 55K range would be interesting on the lower time frames, of course. And then, as you probably said, it's 60K. That is very, very interesting psychological. After we broke above 50K, but Bitcoin above 50K is strong, right? It's like shows strength in the crypto market. Do you think we're getting close to an altcoin season? Because I think a lot of people are waiting for that for like more than a year. I think it's 2 years now since a very, very big altcoin season. Like in my view, I think we're getting there. If you look at AI coins that pumped recently, I think the hype will slowly come back. But it's no altcoin season without previous cycle coins going up, right? So we need to see previous coins like Ethereum, like Cardano, like Binance coin, to go up to make new all-time highs or getting close to all-time highs. Like as Bitcoin is doing right now. Do you think we're getting close finally to that shooting star altcoin season or something?
The altcoin season, that the full blown altcoin season that everybody is expecting, I still think it's going to take a few more weeks, maybe even months, the one that we see on the broader market. But until then, we're going to see the same thing that happened in the last, I would say, 3 to 4 months, and also in the last few weeks. That's why I also did my best to stay in the leaders, although it's not easy to buy when something goes higher, and to buy higher and also to sell higher, or to accumulate when something goes higher and higher and buy with the premium. This is what I have been doing, because I see that a lot of coins from the previous cycles, like I don't know, Cardano, DOT, Cosmos, AVAX, Aave, all the other, like most of the other, most of the ones that were performing very well in the previous cycle, I see that they're being outperformed by newer coins, and this is normal because the newer coins don't have backholders. We talked about it. Just to sum up with
even Bitcoin and Ethereum are outperformed by those. So it's like,
of course,
people look at those as like, okay, DOT did not move. Yeah, Ethereum did not move that much either. So maybe it's a bit more up than Polkadot, but still it's underperforming the newer coins. And it always is the same. So the newer coins, as you said, they have no backholders. They have a new narrative that are going with in the market, and all the money are going there in the first time. But if you look at all the charts, I don't know if you did that, but the previous coins, they all look the same. They look at the double bottom formation and they're ready to go, like most of them. You said it might take months, and I can agree. Depends on how much liquidity it's going to come into the market, and if Bitcoin will stay above 50K. I think for me another important thing would be Ethereum to break 3K, and then probably will be probably a good sign for the market, and maybe the dominance coming down a little bit. Then it's going to be a good sign that we're going to probably end up in a full-blown altcoin season. Looking at all those coins, I was like, okay, they're already looking at Polkadot, at Theta, at like Filecoin. Every chart kind of looks the same, it looks like double bottom formation, or rounding bottom, or whatever you want to call it, and they're just waiting for liquidity to break out. I don't know. Have you looked at them?
I looked at them, but to be honest, there are so many, and I just made the conscious decision to focus on the ones which outperform Bitcoin. And if you allow me just a few moments to tell you why I still think that these newer ones, not of course not all the newer ones, so we shouldn't jump from newer to newer, but I already have my bags in Sui, Sei, Injective, Manta, and Tia, for example. These are my long time horses, let's say long play horses, right? However, you said something very nicely, that the others one look ready, but these newer ones outperformed Bitcoin in their alts BTC pair, right? So if I see this kind of, for example, this kind of runway breakout, and now we have the first weekly close, we have the highest weekly close in 777 days. And when this happens, most of the time, this is like a pressure valve, like a ball under the water effect. When this happens, it's gonna surprise a lot of people. That's why I was keeping my eyes on this 40K area, because as we can see, in March 2022, this was a major level. So now with Bitcoin closing above 50, and more important, having the weekly close above 52K area, we take out also these highs. So as long as we're gonna pull back to 50, even to 40K, but we stay above 40K, which was the previous high for 777 days, I still think that the chances are really to go much higher. For example, 60K. And another thing is going to happen here. A lot of people are in denial, and they are front run shorters, and they're going to short. They shorted from 48. They're shorting now, and they're going to keep shorting until the market is liquidating them maybe around 55. And I think that that's going to push it to 60K. And the reverse is going to happen. Around 60K, we're going to see late longs on futures who are going to do the same things. They're going to go over leverage. Most likely, they're going to get liquidated. And from 60K or from 58 to 60K, we're going to pull back to 50, maybe to 52. But now I think that the chances are to go much higher. Coming back to what you were saying regarding the newer altcoins, if they were outperforming Bitcoin right in the last few months, and Bitcoin is still rallying, I still think that Bitcoin is sucking out all of the air from the market. But if we have some altcoins which are outperforming Bitcoin, even with Bitcoin running so hard, if those altcoins were outperforming Bitcoin before, it means that we have a higher chances for the reflexive memory of the market participants to still bid those coins instead of bidding the other coins which are bleeding against Bitcoin. So going forward, I still think that the ones who were leading the market from the altcoins in the last few months, they're still going to lead the market, and of course with a few exceptions.
Yeah, I think so as well. But don't you think we're gonna have some kind of reversion basically, and have like the older coins running, and the coins that are newer, like I don't know, consolidate more in the next few months? Because usually Bitcoin is going up, then the newer coins are going up, as you said, and then we can see like a stagnation of like the newer coins, and then the older coins are going up, and then a huge correction is coming. Usually that's what's happening, and it happened in 2021 between January and May, and looks very similar right now, the trend. So basically when the older coins start to run and do, I don't know, 5x or even a bit more, usually you're going towards the end of one of the bull market cycles. Like it doesn't have to be the end of the cycle, but a harder correction will come. Do you think this time is different? Do you think we're not going to have a big correction? I don't think it's different. I think a big correction will come. Yeah.
The difference right now, and I'm seeing this, and it's very hard for me to still fathom that we can still have like a more than 20% correction. Okay, 20% correction, I think on Bitcoin it's fairly decent. But under the new conditions, where I see these 9 entities buying with 2 hands, with 3 hands, with 5 hands, with all of their hands, the supply that the Grayscale is putting out in the market, for me is very, very strange. In a good way, to see how Bitcoin is still above. Bitcoin is above 50K, closed at the highest level in 777 days, with Grayscale selling so much quantity. This says a lot about the power of absorption of the market. So if we see the Grayscale selling so much, and maybe they're going to continue to sell, I have no idea. They still have 460,000 Bitcoin in their treasury.
The U.S. government has some, and
the U.S. government
has some, and
Mt. Gox has some.
There is some things there,
but I just look at it from the other way around, and I think it's a good way to look at it, because I still see Bitcoin at these levels, and it's in all fairness, I think Berry and Grayscale, they're doing a very good job for themselves and also for their clients. Of course, we don't like it, because if they and here comes the question: what would have happened, or what can happen to the price of Bitcoin if Grayscale is gonna stop selling, or if Grayscale is gonna be outperformed from selling by the 9 institution buyers and also by the other entities who are buying?
Already are so far, because you can see the price went up eventually, so they were keep selling, but then the price went up. Even the miners were selling at some point. I think they still have a little bit to sell before the halvening, so I think it is some selling pressure there at some point, but we need some kind of a scenario when the market panics in order to have that big crash, which might come from a higher leverage, higher time perspective, and maybe from leverage, because looking at leverage now, it's not that much leverage at this point in time compared to, let's say, 2021. So that might be a difference there a little bit. It doesn't mean that the leverage is not going to go up till the price goes up, like people do dumb stuff most of the time, and they take a lot of leverage in the market. So you might see it, as you said, towards 60K, you might see people like getting in high leverage positions, and then you might see a leverage flush again down to the, I don't know, 44K or 48K. 50K, depends on the scenario where we're gonna be at that point. But I think it's gonna come, and altcoins are gonna bleed more, like they always do when we have some kind of a flash crash, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I see you have a chart opened up. What
I had for Ethereum, because I was bullish on Ethereum since beginning of December, and I think that this was, and it still is, I don't need this here anymore, I still think this is one of the most cleanest and textbook-ish higher highs and higher lows bullish sequence out there. Even when we were under this area, as long as we maintain, let's clear up the chart a little bit. Actually, let's just clean the areas to see how clean it can be if you're just following price action, if you're just following market structure. You don't need 5 indicators, you don't need even 1 indicator. That's just personal preferences. Whenever the market, and especially on higher time frames like daily, prints this kind of low highs, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high right now. And if we go back and we can see the analysis that we posted, you posted also on Ethereum, I posted also on Ethereum, we can see that this structure was really respected. And even right now, even if Ethereum for now it reached almost 3,000, right? If it's going to pull back around 10%, as long as it's going to stay above some previous higher highs, so even if it's going to pull back towards 2,600, so it's around 11% of a correction, that still is going to be a very healthy correction, because all the time in these kind of structures, right? So when we have this kind of bullish structure, all the time when the price comes to a previous high, to a higher low and prints a higher low, but maintains the structure, new buyers come in. For example, some people were not part of this rally. They came in here and they pushed the price higher. Some people were not part of this rally. They came in here and they pushed the price higher. This is what's happening at higher lows, and that's why I have also been repeating. When we are in a bullish uptrend, right? You buy the dip. So when you have the dip, you buy the dip if it's maintaining previous higher lows. And in the reverse, when we have this kind of bearish structure, you sell the rip. So you sell all those bounces. Here we buy this kind of bounces. Here we sell this kind of bounces on a lower high, lower low structure. Price action is not actually that hard. And this is, in my opinion, this is the only indicator that you would need, especially if you're an investor.
Yeah, the trend is your friend. So the trend now for Ethereum is up. I think we had a lot of analysis in the past on Ethereum in like a few months back, and it's close to the target. I think already hit one of the targets. I think my personal target was 2.8K first, but nice. I think now it can go way higher. So if I can share my my screen here for Ethereum, I can show you what targets I have, and maybe then you can say what targets you have in relation to Ethereum at this point. So now let's see. So basically this was one of my targets around 2.7, 2.8. So we touched that, not even we touched that, but we found support at this level. So it's very, very good. 2,721. So we found some support here. This was the previous high from January 12th, 2024. So we broke that. We found support here, and the next target should be $3,161. And if we scroll back to the left, we can see here why we had some touches here. We had some support here, and then we found resistance here in April 2022. So I think this is my target for like short term. Let's say I think it might happen this week or next week, probably this week. If Bitcoin is stable above 50K, this might go above 3K and touch this level. I'm expecting some kind of a correction from this here, 3,163, and then probably after that correction we might see 3.3 to 3.5. So that's my kind of final target till May, around 3.5K. Might go even higher, but we'll see. If Ethereum will do this, so we'll touch this 3.5K, we'll do the same thing as Bitcoin did before the ETF. So it's kind of the 48K level here that we see. We might see 3.5K for Ethereum. We might shoot up as Bitcoin did. So we might go to 3.6, 3.7 in this range. But that's my personal target for Ethereum till May, when we're going to see the ETF and all the probably the good news that will come from the Denkun upgrade in March. So At that point, we should see Ethereum here. From here, we'll see what's gonna happen afterwards. I think we're gonna go towards all-time high at the end of the year, might be even closer to that. But after Bitcoin probably will end the cycle, which might be the ETF already like kind of topped the dominance a little bit, but we had another small bounce. But after the halvening, we might see some buyers coming back to Ethereum mainly, and Ethereum taking the charge in the market. But I want to see your view in relation to what targets you have for Ethereum, like short, medium, and kind of long term for Ethereum. Yeah, you can share if you want.
Sure. 1 second. On Ethereum right now, I think I don't want to kind of think about longer term, but short, medium term, I had the same target around 2,900, 3,000 area. Let me share the chart. And right now, I'm also curious if we're just going to blast through it. Today, for the people who are not aware, it's a President's Day in the United States. So the markets are going to be closed, means less inflows for both Bitcoin and maybe also for Ethereum. So also maybe the buyers are going to be a little bit more idle, I would say. So right now, around this area, since we printed another higher high, so we are here, I'm not ruling out a potential pullback, a potential correction, something like this. I'm not trading it. I'm not doing anything to it. I don't hold it. I just have Bitcoin and a bunch of other altcoins. However, I cannot be bearish at all on this. I'm just, maybe even if I see a pullback here, right?
There's a buying opportunity, right?
That's a buying opportunity. I had the long on it. Let me see if I can open it here. No, I'll have to reshare something else. I had an open.
Yeah, okay.
I had the long on it very nicely because I'm testing out my best indicator from Forex, which I've been using it for more than a decade, and it was Ichimoku. So for me, it was very, very nice. It was very simple. Obviously, I started with price action from there. I started with the supports and resistances and with the higher time frames. And after that, I saw that I had all the triggers to pull the trade last evening. I'm not going to go in full details with Ichimoku, but basically when we have these moving averages, let's just call them like this, breaking above the Kumo, which are the clouds, plus the cloud from Ichimoku is printing green, you have all the confirmation and the price to be above the moving averages. You have all the confirmations that you can pull the trigger. Obviously, I started from daily and I went on 4 hours, and also on 4 hours when I pulled the trigger, the price was confirming all the criterias. And after that, I refined my trade on 1 hour, which was somewhere around this area where I pulled the trigger. Now it's very nicely in profit. Actually, the trade is
close to target. Yeah, it's close to target, but it might. Yeah.
It's very close to target. Maybe it's going to retest the base, going back to the baseline to Kijun and the blue line.
Yeah, you're not closing. You're not closing out of it.
No, I'm not closing anything right here. I'm just waiting it out. I don't usually trade Ethereum.
Break-even?
No, it's 100%. It's in break-even.
Okay.
This is a risk-free trade right now.
Yeah,
so I can move right here. I don't have any risk, but I just want to see it until the end. I obviously moved it in the risk. The risk is 0 on this trade, and based on what's gonna happen in the next few hours, I'm also gonna decide if I take off something from the table. I should have taken out here 50%, but I was writing something for my group and I didn't have time. However, now I'm just gonna let the price action do its stuff. I have no indication from daily to 4 hours, even to 1 hour, that this trend is going to reverse. The price is far from the cloud. I'm very happy with this trade. So going back to what you were saying, my short-term target, we can see a pullback. Based on this, I might even add to that trade since now is risk-free if I see a bounce. And my first target would be around 3,200 area. And from there, I'm just going to let price decide.
Okay, so short term, kind of, you have my view that we might go above 3K and touch that 3.2K and then pull back. How about medium term Ethereum? How do you see it till May, for example?
I need to.
Yeah, I know it's a lot of calculation into play, and like a lot of things can happen till May. But yeah, how do you see it till the decision of the ETF in May? I think that would be interesting.
If I see it above 3,000, so for example, if I see it above this area, if I see it above 3,000, for me, anywhere between 3,200, first target 3,200, and after that 3,500. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put them here in my chart because I just also want to see them.
Okay, so we align on this one. So that's nice. So we align on this one. How about the all-time high? Let's see here. Let's see there. Do you expect an all-time high for Ethereum in this cycle?
Yes, of course I expect an all-time high, but whenever that's gonna happen, it's out of the. I mean, I have no idea when this is gonna happen. I do have an indication of something, and I think that the all-time high. That's why I said that the full altcoin season is gonna be, I think, in the next few weeks, maybe months, because I still don't see Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin. I still see that Ethereum BTC, it's in a downtrend, although this might be the first sign. This might be the first sign of a reversal because we have the first higher low. However, if I go on 3 days to see it on daily, we are still in a very clear bearish downtrend with lower highs and lower lows. So I'm going to be very bullish on Ethereum, or much more bullish on Ethereum, and maybe also on altcoins when I'm going to start seeing Ethereum, Bitcoin going higher. So it means Ethereum outperform. Right? So 0061. So when I'm gonna see a weekly close above 0061, so above this area, taking out these highs from here, for me it's gonna open 0067. So basically, from that point onwards, I think Ethereum is gonna outperform Bitcoin. Maybe Bitcoin is gonna range, and after Ethereum is gonna outperform Bitcoin, and Ethereum sucking out all there from the altcoin market, and Ethereum is gonna range. We're gonna see the rotations to mid caps, large cap, mid caps, and also to the ones which were outperforming.
Yeah, I agree. I already flipped Bitcoin in
you told me,
yeah.
You said
so
that.
Let's see how will that play out. So far, pretty sideways from my point of view, sideways and down. As you showed, it's a descending channel, but I think it has potential, as you outlined there. Maybe a low and then a higher low, and maybe if we print above 0.61, we might see something interesting with all the good news that will come for Ethereum, probably towards March and then towards April and May. So that's where I see probably some kind of an altcoin season.
Me too.
Probably towards that. But I think we might see a pullback in March, though. I think maybe before the altcoin season, we might see some kind of a pullback in March to scare the market a little bit.
Not out of the question. So for me, I'm going even further. I think the end of May, beginning of July, I think that we can see that full-blown altcoin season.
June, you mean, right?
No, July. June. Sorry, June.
June, yeah. Beginning of June. Yeah, might be. I don't know. It sounds and looks a little bit like 2021, January till May. But
yes, it does.
Yeah, yes, it looks a little bit like that. Let's see if we're gonna have a sell in May and go away or not this time around. But it's gonna be interesting to follow and see how the price will react if Bitcoin goes to 55, 60K, and how the market will react. If people will become very, very bullish, then it's a clear sign that we're gonna go into a small bubble pop, probably towards May or even June, and then probably cool off during the summer, and then come back to trading in September, October, November, most likely. Like drink some champagne and like stay chill towards the summer, and then come back and reload the guns at the end of the year. So we'll see.
So it's end of May, beginning of June also for me. Of course, it's going to happen much faster than this, but because you asked me, and also for the people who are watching right now, I cannot be very bullish on the broader altcoin market without Ethereum outperforming, because when Ethereum is going to start outperforming Bitcoin on EIBTC pair and in general, we'll also see the dominance going lower. And if the dominance is going to go lower, the reflexive memory of the market participants is going to kick in, and most likely seeing that Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin, seeing that this channel is being taken out, and seeing Bitcoin dominance going lower, they're also going to start buying more and more altcoins.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe it's good to look at the BTC dominance chart if you have it on.
Sure.
Let me how we look now. Yeah, how we look now. If not, I can open it. If you cannot find it, let me see.
Oh, I have. However you want it, I have it available.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can put it on. You can put it on, and then maybe I can share the USDT. I think that's very interesting as well.
I have a very nice explanation for this after that. You want to share? Okay, you want to speak about dominance?
No, I'll add yours. Here you go.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. So for the dominance, I have nothing to say for now. It still looks very good for Bitcoin. It's above 53%. It still looks bullish. Let's say if we were thinking about this like a standalone asset, I couldn't be bearish on something that looks like this. Not right now. So first of all, I would like to see it here and also take out the lows from here. So when we're gonna go under 50% on the Bitcoin dominance chart, I think this is when we're gonna start the full-blown alt season. Until then,
I agree. But if you go on the daily, you can see a pattern of like lower highs. You can see a small pattern there. It's not really like nothing is confirmed. I think for me it's under 52. I would say under 52. Yeah, that kind of that level.
Yeah, but look at this. This looks very similar to this.
Yeah, it looks so far. So that's why there's no confirmation, but kinda. If you look at it, it's maybe trending.
I'll just wait. Yes. Yeah, so first of all, I need to go under these highs and the lows from here, and also to continue under 51%, I would say, because it's gonna open the lows from 48 and also 40. Yeah, 49.
Yeah, looking back at the previous cycles, usually you need a stable Bitcoin above a certain level in order to see the altcoin season. I think this time around is 50K. So if Bitcoin will hold 50K, we might go towards altcoin season. Then you want to see Ethereum being stable as well. So yeah, Ethereum, which 3K for me is that level. And then as we talked about the dominance should go below 52 at least 52% in order to think about altcoin season. And to end, it's Ethereum Bitcoin, which should go above 0.6. So then we can all party and say, yeah, we're gonna see rockets. You're gonna wake up in the morning and you're gonna see plus 50, 80, 90, 100% for each coin in the coin market cap or wherever you're looking at. But yeah, I think USDT point D. You want me to share it or you have it? I think that's.
Let me. Can I address a question, because this is a question that I'm fairly frequently asked. It comes from Influencer Friendly. He says, Mr. Spread, you are bearish at 24K, neutral after, braked. Okay, you had the question there. Let people read.
Yeah, I put it on.
It's perfect. It's perfect, right? So for me, it's gonna take a little bit, maybe 2-3 minutes for as of a rant, but I hope that this is recorded, and after all the people will understand how I am as a trader and also as an investor, because I'm a positional investor and I'm also a price action trader, right? So I was bearish in all this move. Since we were under this area, I was bearish. Even here, under $18,000. So when we broke under $18,000, let me delete this. When we broke under $18,000, I was bearish as long as we stayed under this area. For me, exactly like I showed previously, this was a sequence of high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So for me, this was, and with I shorted the hell out of all of these rips all the time. Here, when we were under this area, I was bearish. When we broke above it, I was neutral. So my first ever purchase of Bitcoin was done when we broke above the previous highs from here, right? And after we bounced. So my first purchase was around $21,000. After that, on all these rallies, because we just flipped on weekly.
Yeah, you stayed sidelined, I remember, yeah.
No, on all these rallies, I bought, and I bought all the way up to 30K. After this, also when we started rallying again, I bought, and the moment I stopped was in August when we broke under $28,000. So as a friendly reminder, when we broke under 28,000 here in this area, I was bearish. So in August, between 28 and 25, I was bearish. And actually I also had targets. If we were breaking under 25,000, I had lower targets, but we didn't. We held above this area. And I said, above 28 and between 28 and 32, I'm going to be neutral, and I'm going to be bullish back again above 32,000.
Yeah, I remember, and I asked you, if we broke about 32, is the bull market going to start? And you said yes, and we both agreed that if that will happen, the bull market will probably start for Bitcoin. I remember the conversation, and I remember you had 25%, I think, in Bitcoin, as far as I remember, in that range.
Here, exactly. So here, I was already... Around here, I started. Here, I had already 23%, and here I already had 25%. And yes, I became bearish here. And between here and here in this area, I was full bearish short term. And I said between 28 and 30, I'm going to be neutral, and above 32, I'm going to be full bullish. And since then, I was full bullish at all the areas, and I will continue to be bullish as long as the weekly structure. So if you remember, after the ETF, a lot of people were very bearish here. Here, I said that this is a false break. I had that inverse head and shoulders. My first target was 48.
Yeah, I remember.
So, all in all, just going on this. I think that people who bring up this kind of argument, they just need to follow up everything what I'm saying. And with respect to them, I'm very happy when they bring this up, but follow all the tweets, not just the tweets that, I don't know, fit your bias or are against you a little bit.
Yeah, for me, it doesn't really matter who's right and wrong.
Me neither.
In the end, I think the people that follow this mentality that someone is always right are not gonna end up far, basically, because everyone will make mistakes, and if someone will not admit that they make a mistake, like I made a lot of mistakes, you made a lot of mistakes in like 100%. Your analysis, and I think if you follow people that you think they're always right, I think you have a huge problem, like huge problem, because at some point you're gonna get burned, because people make mistakes. People are not robots in general, and if you follow people that never say that are making a mistake, probably that person will probably fool you in some way. I'll just leave it like that, because
he has a hidden agenda. Or he has a hidden agenda.
Important is to admit when you're wrong. That's it, because that's all it is. We're talking about probabilities. I was wrong, you're wrong. I was right, you're right. In different scenarios, you just need to take the information and like see if you think the same, or if you think, yeah, this analysis really makes sense, or yeah, this analysis does not really make sense because this, that, and this. You just keep it in your mind. And another thing, people have different strategies. Like for you, it might work for you to buy higher than to buy the low at 15K, like 16K or 19K or whatever, because yeah, you have maybe higher capital than people have and so on, and you can afford buying higher if you see the trend has changed, you know. So I think this like type of mentality that you follow someone because that person you think it's always right, it's not healthy for you long term, you know.
100%.
And I tell people 100%. This all the time, but they will never really understand this till they get really burned. So yeah,
no, but you never win these people.
And then
wait a second.
If I have to finish this, when
sure.
you get burned, you're gonna point the finger because at a person, you know, because hey, it's not me that is wrong, it was that person that was wrong, and I lost money because of him, you know. So that's what it is. Yeah, we have more experience in the markets, but we can be dead wrong, guys. We can be dead wrong. Like we can say, yeah, Bitcoin is going to 5K or 2K or whatever, and it doesn't go there, you know. Like that's probability. But if you follow someone, usually people are attracted to this shit, you know. They're attracted to people saying like Bitcoin goes to 200K, 500K, or they're attracted to people saying Bitcoin is going down to 0 or to, I don't know, 5K or...
I cannot find this, but look, I even have something here from Whale who was shorting, and he has 650,000 followers on the 10th of February. And I just made a post here. I just made a notation because I was like, how can you short when something is looking so bullish? And to answer that question, I thought that is a genuine question, but I think it's just let's say is not just a right intention person. To the influencer friendly who asked if I stay sideline, I'm going to end the conversation here because we have more important things to do. Please follow my timeline since then. Yeah, so please follow my timeline since then. And if you find from 32K, you and anybody else find any bearish posts, please let me know about it and we can have a discussion. If not, I just think that you're a hater who just tries to curveball it. Now, going forward,
as I said, I don't think this discussion should really take place
in
an environment that you really try to, I don't know, show people and educate them in a way. Because if the education will be, hey, I'm right all the time, then it's not a healthy conversation, and you're not doing that. Because I saw that when you said, hey, yeah, I was wrong when I was bearish, I was wrong at, like, it is what it is. Like it's an analysis. You can be right for 3 years, and if you're wrong once, people will like come and jump on you. It's like, oh, you're wrong on that. It's like, okay, depends how you structure your analysis and what you tell people. If you tell people, yeah, I'm certain this is gonna happen, of course they will backfire. It's gonna backfire on you at some point.
True. So let's go to very important things and actually things that have a consistency and what matters.
Yes,
if you remember, one of the most important thing that I said is liquidity. And we were talking about a lot of times about liquidity inside the market. And let me see what I have, market cap. This is very important. and we're just going to walk through a little bit of liquidity and why I think that this was one of my best calls that I had in quite a lot of time. As long as I see that the USDT market cap is still growing and is still going higher, it means for me, because we can overlap with what happened with Bitcoin, for me, it just means that it's a huge demand. And then it's an increasing demand for crypto, especially for Bitcoin after what we had the ETF. And we can see that what's happening during a bear market is that people are redeeming Tether, right? So people are sending back, are asking back from Tether. So they're sending the USDT, they're sending their Tethers, the digital dollars, and they're receiving back from Tether, they're receiving fiat, right? And in that moment in time, we can see that the Tether market cap, when it was the bear market, which is going lower and lower and lower. And also what happened, this is what happened with Bitcoin. After that, when we saw that the Tether market cap starts increasing and we saw that Tether starts printing, the same behavior happened also with Bitcoin, because Tether, the mechanism, it works exactly in this way. Tether just doesn't print money because they want to print money. They have a one-on-one digital dollar back to their, they have a one-on-one dollar backing. So what does it happen? People are sending wire transfers for billions of dollars, for example, to Tether, and Tether, they're sending them back, they're sending them USDT. So when Tether market cap started growing, it was also a sign that we're exiting the bear market. And since then, also, we saw an immense increase and a very rapid increase in Tether market cap since October. And since October, also, Bitcoin started a massive rally. And we can see that up to some degree, of course, there is a delta here, Tether and also Bitcoin, Tether market cap and Bitcoin, it's quite correlated. So to make this chart a little bit clearer, as long as I'm going to see that Tether market cap is either stable and either it's started, if it's growing, I'm going to be even more bullish on Bitcoin and on altcoins. Yep. But if I see, Tether going something like this, it means that most likely we're going to have some type of a weird top, or maybe a local top, or maybe we're going to go lower for a period of time. However, I cannot be bearish when I see liquidity coming inside the market. And I'm going to finish up with something very interesting. I'm not going to talk about this. I'm just going to talk about this. I studied what happened in the last cycle. So for example, when we have the first leg up, when we had the second leg up, and when we started the bear market, please follow this junction points. This is what I said between Tether dominance chart and Bitcoin. So when we had this intersection and Tether market cap dominance chart was going lower, and we had Bitcoin crossing above it, that was the first leg higher from Bitcoin. The second time happened after we had the RINs in July 2021, and again Bitcoin went above Tether's dominance chart. When finally we started the bear market, and this happened in 2022, it went below, and all the bear market, as we can see, it just stayed higher. And this just stayed higher than higher. So, for example, this was the first confirmation of a bullish leg for Bitcoin of a bull run. This was the second confirmation. And now, when Bitcoin chart went under the Tether dominance chart, this was the bear market being confirmed. However, right now, and I think I did this, I think we were somewhere in, 8-9 January, and we saw, and I said that this is a bit of a froth, but we didn't have quite, this happened during the ETF. Actually, so we didn't have a clear leg higher from Bitcoin, right? But now, and this target was placed 2 weeks ago, I said that around 19th of February, this I just made the calculation based on the angle and based on future price action. I said that this is gonna be the next leg higher for Bitcoin, because as we can see here, the same thing happened like it happened the first and the second time when we had the leg higher. So now USDT dominance chart just went lower, all while Bitcoin chart went above it, and we had another bullish junction or bullish crossover. So for me, even if we're going to see a pullback, as long as we had this, which is very similar, strikingly similar with the other cycle, I think that Bitcoin, it's most likely is going to go higher.
Yeah, this I think is very interesting, and thanks for sharing this. And I think people on the chat will really appreciate this type of analysis from you. I think this is very interesting. It means that I think we're going towards a bull market, or first inning, let's say, for Bitcoin, and maybe the altcoins will follow. So very interesting. I'm going to follow this myself as well now, but it's very, very interesting. But looking at, if I can share the USDT chart now, sure. I think the USD, it's interesting. Just give me a second to pull it out here. Let me see. Yeah, I have it. I think this is very interesting. How would you look at this? Because I look at it in two ways. Either we're gonna have a bounce from this region of like doing like some kind of a fake out, something like this, and then reclaiming this level of like 5% and going to 5.9, 6 point something for here, or we're gonna go full bonanza and full altcoin season and like I don't know, hype, because there's nothing. I don't see anything between 5 and maybe 3.7, like this level. I think this we're gonna have some kind of support
after you finish, because you said that level, you will see. And by the way, to all the people who are watching or are gonna watch, this is the first time me and Daniel were speaking about this, and you'll see that although a lot of times where we have different views, you'll see how similar, Daniel, it is this view on Tether chart, and I'll show you why.
Yeah, so finishing this, I think if we break this level, like for good, not a fake out, because now I'm going towards a small fake out, like Bitcoin goes, I don't know, towards 55, maybe a little bit higher, the dominance go below like 5%, and then a fake out and a bounce basically. But if this will not be a fake out here that I'm like waiting for right now, I think this is gonna be a full-blown bull market, like full-blown, because there's nothing till like 3.7, and then maybe a bounce, and then probably continuation to like 2%. And I think this, like, if I look at this from this perspective, I think this might be some kind of an end to the bull cycle around 2%. But I want to see your view in relation to this, because this might be interesting to like follow up. And I'll
it's very interesting you say that, and I'm very happy. And now I understand even more why we are partners for this kind of a show, because we debate respectfully, but we share a lot of common views, and I'll show you why.
Remember, we don't have to agree on everything, and I think this is what makes this show really great, because you can see both, and you can choose. It's like, okay, maybe my view is towards this, or maybe my view is towards this, and you see where do we agree and where.
But this is normal, and this is for everybody who is watching. Maybe a lot of people like Daniel, maybe a lot of people like me, maybe someone dislikes me, but this is normal, guys. Clearly. Don't take this to heart. I mean. I'm not controlling Bitcoin. I'm not controlling Ethereum. These are my views. Sometimes I make mistakes. Sometimes I don't make mistakes. Sometimes I'm right with what I'm saying. It would be very weird if 8 billion people would love chocolate with almonds or with hazelnuts. Someone likes it with fucking strawberries. It's fine. Just pick your fighter or pick your influencer or whatever you guys want to call us. And at the end of the day, just be respectful and enjoy the quality content, because this is pure price action and pure unbiased views. Even if you like them, just see, maybe this guy Mr. Spread was crazy, or he was right about something, like why he was so bearish under 30k, why he's so bullish about 32, why he's so bullish now about 50k. I mean, what does this guy see? So now coming back to what you were saying about the market cap USDT dominance, right? I don't think that technical analysis per se really applies to this kind of assets which are not tradable. But at the end of the day, I really think that we can still watch them regarding areas, because in the past we see that when we had this kind of pullbacks, right, we had very big rallies. For example, this was from September all the way to April 2021, and on this move from here to here, Bitcoin and all the altcoin market really rallied. So on this move, when we see this kind of pullbacks lower, the market rallied. When USDT dominance chart bounced, this was the sell-off between April and July 2021. And after that, it was the second leg higher. Exactly what we were showing here, So it was this and this. And after this, we just entered the bear market when we started rallying higher on the USDT dominance chart. However, now coming back to what you were saying, I fully agree that, and that's why I was having this junction and intersection between them, and I couldn't have been bearish on this, right? So I couldn't be bearish on Bitcoin, even on the altcoin market, when I saw that people, although USDT dominance or USDT market cap was growing, so although in net liquidity, USDT market cap was going higher, the USDT dominance from all the market cap was going lower. This meant that a rotation from Tether to Bitcoin mainly, and also to the leaders, was being made. And now, looking at this chart, I have to agree with you that maybe we're going to see some type of a bounce from here. But this already looks bearish. If I didn't know, and if I was doing cold price action without knowing what is this asset or what is to whom this chart belongs to, I would be very bearish on here, and I'm gonna be even more bearish under the previous highs from this area, opening up 3.7. And like you said very, very well, I really think that this can be a full-blown bull run if we drop under this area. And one more thing I want to add here: the difference in the nominal value which we had, for example, between, let's say, when we dropped from 4.7 to 3.7 here, so 1% here in the previous bull run, it will not be the same 1% which we're going to have around this area. Okay?
Yeah, makes sense.
This is going to be very, very important, because now the difference in nominal value is, so 1%, let's just do like this, 1% equals 1%. Okay? So this is normal. But from here to here, this difference in liquidity is going to be much bigger, because let's see how much it was here. July 2021 up to so 12th of July until 26th of July. So 12th of July until 26th of July. Let's just remember these details because are important from the previous cycle. 20.
Yeah, the liquidity was way lower.
Way lower. So 1%, it equals 1%. July. 12th of July. Okay, so let's just see how much it grew from here. So 12th of July until, so barely nothing here. Okay, so it's just a few $1 billion. But now 1% in here in market cap, it's gonna be almost $970 million. Okay, so $1 billion is gonna move like exactly nominal value. I think there it was a half than a billion, but now it's gonna be a full $1 billion, which are gonna just move, and even more maybe, are just because this is just USDT. We also have USDC, we also have DAI, we also have the other altcoins, right? With the other stable coins. I really think that this 1% move, it can trigger a much more explosive move in the cryptos, so from Bitcoin starting to Ethereum to the others in this area than it triggered here. I hope it makes sense.
Yeah, it's a bit different because of the liquidity and the market.
Exactly.
Right now.
Exactly.
So yeah, and I think as you said, if we break that level for good, I think we're gonna go to a full-blown altcoin season. How is your view towards the end of this cycle? Because mine is towards 2%, so I think that level is to be watched basically on USDT. The 2% level, like looking from the past, which do you think is the level that people have to watch for the end of this bull run cycle, basically?
So first of all, even here around 3.7, I don't think it's going to be a bad moment, maybe to take some profits from the market if you're already allocated
maybe
for
the out, right? Yeah,
not necessarily this, but take some profits from the table. If you are inside the market in Bitcoin, especially from last year, I will not sell, and I'm not going to sell Bitcoin. I'm going to sell maybe of the altcoins which I'm gathering since November. But around this area, maybe I'm going to close part of it and I'm going to look for a pullback. Maybe I'm just going to wait for price action to confirm. However, if we reach here, most likely most of the altcoins which I'm gathering since November, they're going to do very, very well, and I'm going to take
level. What's that level?
2.6 is for me this level.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we kind of align.
That's why I was smiling. And I said that we have very similar views, because you said 3.7, and after that 2 is 2.6. But I think that, and to be honest, let's see how this. Yeah, I don't have any correlation with this, because also USDT, so Tether is not that much in the charts, so it just has like 3, 4, 5 years, but it's very hard to be bearish here on cryptos when USDT dominance is like this.
Yeah, I agree. We were bearish a lot in the past when the USD was keep growing, but now I think the trend is kind of over for USDT. There is another thing in relation to USDT. It might be the last FUD on the market. I think the previous, I don't know, the miners, and I think it's something will happen there. I'm not sure what, but I can see Circle, I can see USDC, I can see Coinbase, and I can see BlackRock, like all getting together and doing some magic around USDT at some point. But yeah, and I think might be some FUD there coming for USDT, but we'll see. USDT, for people who do not know, it's here for a while, 2017, I think, and it never depegged. higher than, I don't know, a few like cents here and there. But all the others stables kind of depegged. USDC went to 0.5 basically. So it's going to be interesting because a lot of people say that they don't have the assets to back the price basically of $1 for one USDT.
If I can add something here, I think that this FUD is gonna, or if it was, let's say, to some degree, maybe interesting and maybe something to really worry about. After I read some reports and after I watched their latest audits, and I'm doing this, and I don't know if you saw, but me and Paolo Adorino from Tether, so the CEO of Tether, he answered around 3-4 times to the question which I asked him, and they were really deep questions regarding their allocations. Okay, so one of their latest reports, I don't know if you know, but I'm sure that you know, actually, they're holding a lot of US bonds within their treasury.
Okay. So I've seen something. Yeah.
Part of the allocation is in US bonds. As of last quarter, and I hope I'm accurate with the numbers, Tether is the 16th highest bond holder globally in the world. Okay. So they are top 20 US bond holders in the world. I really think that Tether it's so entrenched in the traditional finance and within the United States economy and their bond market that it's just smoke and mirrors. So whenever we're gonna see any kind of FUD towards Tether, I just think it's smoke and mirrors. And plus, I don't think that they chose Switzerland out of the blue. I really think that there are some old money there, like generational wealthy people who are backing up Tether, like, and they have their connections.
Yeah, I agree, but they never had like a full audit. They have partial audits, and they show that they do have. Oops, I think Mr. Spread exited the live stream. But talking about Tether, I do think that there might be some stuff there because they never had like an audit done fully on the assets that they hold to back that 1-to-1. So it might be. Someone says here that I'm not worried about Binance or USDT. They really play the game by the rules, and that's why crypto it's still on its feet after so many blows. Yeah, I'm not sure if Binance and Tether played by the rules 100%. They just had their back in the right place. Let's say that. I don't think they did that. I don't think either Tether or Binance played fully by the rules because it's hard to play fully by the rules. Mr. Spread, welcome back to the.
You see what happens when you speak too much about these guys and the governments. You just get
yeah. So if you talk about Tether, like things happen. But yeah, someone says that I'm not worried about Binance or Tether because they played by the rules. I'm not agreeing with that. I think no one played fully by the rules in crypto.
Me neither.
Yeah. So I don't think so because it was the wild west a few years back. So like I don't think Binance nor Tether played by the rules. They just had, as you said, their back in the right place. So they had their back. Someone had their back basically. But let's see, because there's not even a fully audit on Tether. So we'll see. It's like partial audits. They say yes, we can back with this, we can back with that, but it's not fully there. And I think they have like someone probably sued them, as far as I remember, in relation to this, and probably it's gonna follow up on that. So we'll see. I think some FUD will come there. I don't think really Tether will crash and like go to, I don't know, zero and so on. But we'll see after MiCA regulation if Tether will be allowed. That's the question right now. Is Tether is going to be allowed in Europe or not? And then what will US do with that? Because
they have the Euro Tether already, so I don't think it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, but look, you have Tether and you have USDC, and then USDC you have Circle, and Circle is backed by BlackRock. Again, the conspiracy theories, but as you can see, some of them really play out. So we'll see. I think they're really gonna try and bring Tether down. I think they're gonna try, but we'll see.
I'm skeptical. I'm really skeptical with that one. I cannot agree. I'm skeptical about that because they're gonna shoot themselves in the foot. I mean, they should have done this. If you ask me, if I was BlackRock, I would have done this, and I would do my best to destroy Tether before I have my ETF approved and before I'm the biggest holder of Bitcoin. Because if something happens to Tether right now, my Bitcoin allocations are gonna go to shit.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Because
they bought
if
what? They
Tether is
bought
not
like
backed,
billions of
think about
dollars.
this. If
Sure.
Tether is not backed, imagine it's like Jerome Powell printing money out of thin air. It's like for Bitcoin mainly, and for the crypto market. That would be a big blow off. But I don't think we're gonna get there. But if we get there, of course, it's kind of the same scenario. Like Jerome Powell is printing money for the US dollar, like to be kind of stable, and he's just printing out of kind of thin air. And Tether is doing the same, but it's not right. It's not really like on reality. Tether is printing when there is demand. This is how it should be, right?
Absolutely.
Like, if it's demand, Tether is printing, but if it's not
Sure.
demand, Tether is not printing. So for now, it seems that it's some kind of demand there, but we'll see how things will play out. We have a good question here. When is for certain an altcoin season? As soon as BTC breaks 51% range and BTC keeps the 50k range, or it's a better alternative? I'm interested to switch from BTC to altcoins at that time. Depends. I think that's a good scenario. If it breaks 50% and you see Bitcoin stable and you see Ethereum taking the charge, should you position before? That's a question that you have to ask yourself. I position myself before that happens, but that's me. You can do your own kind of analysis. Me and Mr. Spread are just showing you how we think about this, but I think we're going towards that. So mainly that's why in my portfolio, which I told everyone, now Ethereum is first because I'm expecting that, and I allocate some towards more to altcoins. I had some altcoins allocations in the past as well, but now I'm kind of allocated more and more to that for the hype cycle to come. And I'm even looking at some dogs, cats, and like all these like meme coins, because
you want to have some degen. You want to have some degen back.
Well, it's not degen, it's just how the cycle plays out. First you have Bitcoin, you have some altcoins, and then meme coins. People ask themselves like, why are not new people coming back to new people are coming into the space? Because the meme coins are not pumping. It's like no one cares about Bitcoin, no one cares about Ethereum. They only cares about like the Pepe, they care about the doggy, they care about the catty, they care about all this like stuff. They don't care about Bitcoin does not bring new people into the space.
Bitcoin is too expensive.
Yeah, and to all the maxis, this is like altcoins have no value. Oh, they do. they bring new users into the space. Bitcoin does not. At this point in time, Bitcoin will not do that. Like
you touched a very important topic. Can I evolve a bit on that to give a bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you remember that a lot of people were asking why the hell is Elon Musk talking about Doge when he's buying Bitcoin?
Yeah.
do you really think, not you, but let's just ask a general question. Do really people think that Elon Musk was just saying about Doge just because he was a crazy person? First of all, he's not crazy at all. He's playing 6D chess. Let me tell you about Doge, right? Doge as a meme, as a GIF, was and is and will be, but was already in all the algorithms of all the search engines around the world. From 9gag to TikTok to Facebook to Google to Twitter to any platform that you can think about, any kid, any person from Bangalore to Kuala Lumpur to Nigeria to Bucharest to Russia to United States had seen at least one time Doge on their screens before.
Yeah.
So when he was promoting
if you show them the doggy, we'll say, "Oh, that's Doge,"
Psychologically, he was a mastermind, and he used Doge as an onboard vehicle for people for people that would have never come to this space, and they will most likely never would have bought Bitcoin or Ethereum, but they saw Doge as very cheap. They bought Bitcoin, they bought Doge, they made profits, and after that they just flipped those profits to Bitcoin, to Ethereum, to other. So he just used Doge as an onboarding vehicle for the global people.
I agree. Look at this for people watching. Put this into perspective. Bitcoin ETF, wow, amazing, but people don't really know what an ETF is, what
100%.
ETF does, and like this is like, what is an ETF? And then you put it like, oh, the Dogecoin is going up. Yeah, people understand that, you know. It's like, oh yes, the Dogecoin goes up, I need to buy the Dogecoin, right? So it's like more appealing to the masses than it's like, oh yeah, we need to buy Bitcoin. You look at the price, you just see it's like, oh, there's too many numbers, you know. It's like 51,623 is like too like long. You look at Doge, it is 0.5 cent or whatever Doge is, 0.10 cents. Like, oh, 10 cents, I can understand that. It can go up, it can go to, I don't know, Bitcoin price and so on. So yeah, people don't understand this, and there's like, they're pissing on the altcoins like, oh yeah, altcoins are not good for anything, whatever.
No,
it's like,
I cannot agree.
I cannot agree with this. This space would be like 6 years like back in time, like Bitcoin would be back in time, and no one was like hearing about it that much, you know. So I think it's a cycle there, you know. It's a cycle there, as in every environment, everyone puts their piece together, piece by piece to go towards some kind of scenario that it's mass adoption, right? That's what crypto wants eventually. Oh yeah. Let's see what else are people saying on the chat. Leave comments, and don't forget to like this stream, because this is how the algorithm works. If you don't like it, or if you're not like leaving a comment or like on YouTube or on X, no one would gonna see this conversation. I think it's very good, and I think for you guys it's pretty important to see both views, you know. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't agree. It's like, for you it's very interesting to see both views and like see 100%. How we think. I think that's the most important part of this, and again, the content is free. That's what people don't understand. It's like, content is free, you know. You just need, if you want, you can press the like button. No one asks you anything than your time in order to view this live stream, and we are here because we enjoy what we do. We enjoy like the crypto space, and yeah, we enjoy having a conversation with you, even if it's a good conversation and hard conversation. It doesn't matter. I think conversation is very, very important for the growth of the ecosystem overall, you know.
100%.
Yeah. Okay, leave a like, and I'll show you in a second where. Just give me a second, and then if you want to share something, we can go to some setups for altcoins. I think that would be that would be interesting. But you can find it here. If we refresh this, probably it's more likes here. You can find all the details, of course, in the description. But you can find it here. You can find my Twitter account. You can find Mr. Spread Twitter account. You can find it here in the description. You can see that this is the 17th. We're close to the 20th. You know, let's see how far we can go. Hopefully above 100. But here we're close to 100. So we need two more likes to get to 100, and then we're gonna go forward. We can see that there are 163 people, and that's something. If you're not subscribed, we're close to 700 people here. So if you like the content, you can do that. So yeah, let's go and see what people are saying. I'm just gonna stop sharing for now. Let's see. Daniel says here, very much appreciated, guys. Thanks for sharing your experience. That is all about, you know, like the view, the mentality, and how we see markets. You can see that throughout our eyes, right? We're here like for a while in this investment space. It doesn't mean that we're gonna always be right. That's why you need to do your analysis as well after this live stream will end. Look at this. Let's talk about US stock market. It looks that SPX slowly losing its power. Is it, Mr. Spread?
No, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with Sergio. And before I don't agree with Sergio, I can share something that I think it's really important. Besides SPX, let's just watch a bit DXY, which for some time now it's rallying along with risk assets, right? However, some people, again, I think they got a bit ahead of themselves, and they were trying to not necessarily front run, but they were trying again to call for bigger rallies on DXY. For me, this area around 104.5 was massive and still is massive for a number of reasons. And if I look at this, yes, this is a bullish trend on it, but I just said also on my analysis that I'm going to be bullish on the DXY. I just had the gut feeling that around this area, I couldn't put my finger on it, but around this area, I thought that this may be a local top. Now we have a liquidity grab above 104.5, and if we continue lower, you will see a pattern that I had, which was still which was still printing last week. Now it's almost confirmed and under 103.7. I think this can happen, what you just said earlier, for a massive bull run, which can happen going forward. So for me, in order for DXY to be full bullish, I just want to see it above 105.3 area. So if I see it above this area, I might turn a little bit cautious to risk assets, inclusive S&P 500, Bitcoin, and also other assets. But until then, even with DXY being so bullish since December, I would still say that the trend is not 100% flipped. Now, because I said that I was watching a pattern, this is the pattern that I'm talking about, and it's a rising wedge.
Yeah,
we had the liquidity pick up from here. Last week was not confirmed. I just waited for the weekly close. The weekly close happened, and it didn't continue higher. So now I would say I'm neutral here on DXY. I cannot be bullish. I cannot be bearish if I would just look at this pattern. And I'm going to turn full bearish on it if we go under 103.7. If something like this would happen in the next few days, maybe weeks, at that point in time, I think we can see a very big run on Bitcoin and also on other risk assets. Okay. So until that happens, or for that to happen, the biggest weight from the DXY basket, which is the dollar basket, is euro with around 57%. So if this prints, I was just thinking before we started the live, because here I have a bearish channel, but if this prints a rising wedge, most likely this printed a falling wedge. So let's just remove the drawings. Let's see if we can find that falling wedge on the
someone is asking, why is this not the inverted head and shoulders on DXY? Maybe it can be, but yeah,
it can be. It can be. I will come back to that
break
idea.
above that level that you mentioned, and I agree with that level, 105.3. I think that's yeah.
I will come back even to this level, because I think it can be an inverse head and shoulders, but it was not confirmed, and it had the chance to confirm that. But let's just go back to this. The biggest weight from the DXY basket, it has the euro, right? Which it has around 57% out of it. You can draw the line however you want it. It's not so relevant.
Yeah.
But this looks like a falling wedge. And in order for this to be a full trend change, I just think that we need to see it above this area. So if I see euro dollar starting printing some type of a reversal pattern like this, and we break out and we take out the highs from 107.45, okay, yeah. I just think that we can fully reverse the trend, take out the highs from here, which will put a lot of pressure on the DXY. So this is something that I just thought about. I just had it like before, like this, but that's a falling wedge. To the question that we had for that inverse head and shoulders, I'm going to come back to it, and I'm going to say exactly what I just said right now, that yes, I agree. And I was watching, actually, I was talking to my guys, and I was watching this, that this can be an inverse head and shoulders. However, I think it ran its course, and it had the opportunity to break above this area, which was massive from here. That's why I had it.
So far, yeah.
And this was a liquidity grab. So it's really important this week, I would say, that DXY takes out the highs from here and continues above this area in order to confirm this inverse head and shoulders. If not, I think that this was a false break, and a false break in one direction a lot of times triggers a bigger move to the other direction. So if I see it continuing lower under 103.7, I would just think that this is already lost, this potential inverse head and shoulders.
Yeah, I will not invalidate it yet. For me,
me neither. I just want to see this week close on Friday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 105.3, I think, to a confirmation that we're gonna see the head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders. If not, under 102, probably it's gonna confirm for me that probably we're gonna go lower, probably 102.5, somewhere there. Probably it's gonna confirm that what you said in relation to the rising wedge, and probably we're gonna retest the lows under 100 for DXY, and then full blown probably crazy stuff into the markets at that point in time. Yeah, how do you see the inflation? Maybe let's touch a little bit on the macro, because we've seen inflation a little bit getting up there. Is it something to worry about at this point in time, or not really? And the rate cuts now are pushed to June. So is that bullish or is that bearish? Because markets don't understand at this point in time what the heck is happening. Is it bullish because we have more time to go up till the cut, or is it bearish because markets expected the cut in May? So it's like markets really don't understand what's going on at this point. How do you see it? How do you see the inflation?
Do you remember what I said also on the 1st of January and also last shows? I said that I cut back from the percentage that macro holds in my framework from 15% to 5%.
That much.
So I'm not focusing so much on inflation anymore, and I'm not focusing so much on rate cuts. to base my case scenario for short and medium term. What do I watch? I just went back to basics, and I'm watching price and price structure from weekly to daily. And if I don't see anything changing, nothing changes if nothing changes. I don't care what people say about the reaccelerating inflation. I don't care about what people said in the Red Sea, that the Houthis and the Shmouthis are gonna attack more ships, and they're just gonna, it's gonna reaccelerate. I don't care about that.
What do I? Or the ships? What are they
Houthis.
attacking?
The Houthis.
Yeah,
I have
but the
no
ships
idea.
or the ships? You mean, you know what I mean? The sheep or the sheep? What
depending,
are they?
Because some people, for example, some people ask regarding S&P 500, and if you can, perfect. So when we had this kind of a pullback, for example, since here, let's just go back a little bit in time, and I'm gonna remove all of this. When we were under this trend line, so when we were somewhere around this area, the last rally, okay. So from here to here on this move, I was bearish. All of this move, I was bearish, right? And I think we were speaking about it. Where I flipped was this area, 4,420. And where from here, I already flipped bullish, neutral bullish. And here I was full bullish because we took out the previous highs. So for me, the market structure really changed, first of all, here and fully confirmed around this area. Since then, in all my analysis on the group, on Discord, on the Monday kickoffs, I was very, very bullish. And I'm going to continue to remain bullish regarding of what people are saying regarding rate cuts, regardless of what people are going to say regarding inflation or any type of other FUD. Or
you go with the trend. Yeah,
I will go with the trend. And I think that any pullback, first of all, any pullback that's going to come and is going to be above the previous all-time highs from 48,818. So
it's going to be opportunity.
Opportunity. Here is good to buy. Here is good to buy. Here is good to buy. The only moment where I might flip neutral is if this is not going to happen. So if we're not going to bounce and we're going to lose the previous all-time high from here. So if we go under the previous all-time high, so if we drop something like this and we close weekly under this area, I might turn neutral and I'm going to shift my position a little bit and I'm going to be a little bit more cautious.
I think Bitcoin did the same in 2021. Did printed a new high and then it broke under, and then we went down. So yeah, we don't really want to see that. So we don't see what's that level. So for people to like
this level, 4,818, the previous all-time high, which we had it in January. The previous all-time high from here. So
it's good to mention that level for people like maybe they will not do a full screen, on this live stream. So it's good to mention that level there for people to like know, hey, if we go down below that level, we might be in trouble. It doesn't mean that we're going to crash, but we might be in trouble afterwards.
I agree. And besides that, I think we talked about it, and it's something that people don't look at. And if you remember the thread that I made regarding Ichimoku or the Kurobureka, which is called the crowd breaker, this is the nickname which I placed for it.
Yeah,
this was leading the markets for the last few years, and it was just flying under the radar. In our first Monday kickoff in the beginning of January, we were at this level, and we were just breaking, and we were touching the highs from June 1987. Okay, and now this is
what is this for people to understand?
This is Nikkei 225. This is the main Japanese index.
Perfect. Okay.
And since 1987, and the Japanese index, Nikkei, didn't touch these values. And now, just for you to understand, like it's like almost 40 years, right? Since then, I think this is 1986 or 1985. It's near all-time high. I think it just touched the all-time high around this area. People just think that we're just going to crash from here. There are people who are underwater for the last 40 years, and now they're just seeing for the first time a bit of sunshine. We're not going to crash now, most likely. And another thing,
people will not sell, of course. Yeah.
Warren Buffett invested in Japan. He flew at his age. He flew from Omaha to Tokyo last year. And I think he rotated a lot of capital to Japan. He saw the opportunity. The old man did it again. That's why he's the GOAT and the legend. And I think that this has the potential to still lead the markets. What I mean, the markets, he still has the potential to lead S&P 500, NASDAQ, which on weekly, if you remember about that cup and handle, which we were discussing for a lot of time, it's still there, man. So this pullback for here, and even on NASDAQ can Nasdaq from here can drop 6%. People are going to panic the hell out of their portfolios. And if we stay above the previous all-time high, which was around 16,575, we're still going to be bullish. So this is bullish, this is bullish, this is bullish. Only if we go under, we're going to lose the market structure. However, we are very close to, not even very close. This is just a full-blown bullish structure. And I will not... it's very hard to be very bearish or to be even remotely bearish when Nvidia is doing what it's doing here.
Yeah, I'm not sure that, as we told people, like last time someone asked, "Hi, can I short Nvidia?" I was like, I would not touch shorting Nvidia at this point in time.
It's crazy.
Like, I want to see it go blow off top, and then maybe I'll consider some shorting. But look at Cosmin says here, I guess it's time to invest in Honda.
Yeah, I don't know why he says that, but that's funny. Regarding Nvidia, I'm going to say the same thing which I told you like 2 weeks ago. I still think that this year, maybe May, June, July, I think Nvidia is going to be the #1 company in the world by market cap. I still think this.
Yeah, I said that months ago as well, and I tend to agree with you. I'm holding a position on it. I think from 200 level, I don't remember, somewhere there. So I'm holding it. I think I'm gonna sell a little bit in this range, 700 or 800, but I think it's gonna go to 1,000 plus probably. That was my target beginning with the position on Nvidia. So it performed very well for me, but probably I'm gonna sell a bit with the thought to invest some into Tesla. If Tesla will go to touch 150, 140, I think that's my target for Tesla, in order to like switch a little bit of capital towards that, because I think Tesla, it's a lot of FUD there, but I think in the end, I think I trust in Elon and his view in relation to his companies and Tesla, even though it's not really the most, I don't know, orthodox thing to do, but Elon does the right thing. Like in the end, he has results. So this is what I really want to invest in. People with results. And he's like, and he's putting everything out there, like he's not really partying, doing all this shit, buying, like, I don't know, some kind of yachts. He just works, it's that kind of person that always wants more and more and more. It's very unhealthy, but this is the type of person that you want to find and really invest in, because he's gonna put all his time in order to get there. So it's very hard to bet against Elon, in my view.
I agree. What do you say? We just go quickly through the economic calendar for this week. That's why I just said that today I think it's going to be a slower day, because we have the President's Day in the United States. So the banks and also the stock market, I think it's closed. But what is really important, I think, for this week is this is kind of a, if you want to think about it, it's not exactly, but it's to some degree the interest rate decision for China. Okay?
Maybe you can zoom in. Maybe you can zoom in, control and zoom in or something. Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
So this is the interest rate applied to commercial bank for mortgage loans, right? And as we can see here, for the 5-year prime rate on Tuesday at 315 UTC plus 2, we can see that the expectations are for a cut. If the People's Bank of China, so PBOC, is cutting, it means that they just want to revigorate, right? They just want to boost their economy and the loans, the mortgage, the housing market. So they want to make the credit conditions a little bit more looser. This falls in place. This falls in line with the same things that I was saying, that although we saw that Federal Reserve was doing quantitative tightening, so pulling liquidity out of the market all through 2023, because they have the BTFP program, which was like an emergency for funding program for banks in distress. But although they had the quantitative tightening, so taking out liquidity, so they were reducing their balance sheet, because People's Bank of China and because Bank of Japan, they were still adding liquidity to the markets. I think that the negative effect that this liquidity being pulled out could have had, it was not the same. So it was kind of balancing out or neutralizing the liquidity or the lack of liquidity in the global markets. And if we see China doing something like this, this is going to be even a step further to boost liquidity in the global markets. They already introduced more liquidity in the last few months. They also introduced some kind of a measure for the stock market. They also try to ban short selling. So I think that with them doing this,
and also everything possible. So probably they will cut, right? Yeah.
Probably they will cut. If I see this cut here, please keep an eye on it, because if I see this cut, I think this can be a good moment or a good signal that we are still quite fairly bullish going forward. Well, besides this. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, I have a question. So, how do you read all this stuff? Because I try to wrap my head around it. So you have
Sure.
China that is slowing down and has some issues. On the
Right.
other side, you have Japan that, like, the stock market of Japan goes to all-time high after 35 years or whatever years there is, like towards
Sure.
all-time high. And you
Sure.
have US going like beyond all-time high for the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. Like, how
Sure.
do you see it? Because usually when Japan is like performing well, you might see some slowdown in US but not in China. Do we see like a reversal now? Like, we can see that Chinese is going down, Japan is coming back up in Asia. It's like I still don't know how to wrap my head around it on the medium to long term of this like scenario when China is like slowing down, Japan is coming back, and US is like going towards the bubbles. Like, how will this end? Like, that's the question.
Well, first of all, I think that the markets can stay irrational longer than we can stay liquid. So if we try to, that's why I said, the thing with reducing the macro in our frameworks, if we are at our level, I don't think that we can stay macro heavy, because you cannot outplay the markets in the long term. You just follow the
True,
bigger.
but how do you read into it? Like,
The market, the stock market, for example, look at this. China has been falling since 2021, right? So China has been falling since 2021 in the stock market. The stock market is not the economy. Okay, so I see China slowing down. I see China slowing down, but until we don't see some systemical break, and I don't think that the party will let this, because they're gonna do all in their powers to not be front run by Japan and also by United States by a lot. So they're gonna boost their liquidity, and we can see this, that they were doing this all through 2023 and also through 2024 right now. So how can I wrap my head around it? Well, I can tell you how. If I see that People Bank of China are boosting liquidity, if I see that even with the Federal Reserve balance sheet going lower, I still see banks are not suffering. So that's why I have the BKX, which is the big bank ETF in the United States, and the KRE, which are the regional banks. If I see that they are quite stable, I don't have so many reasons to worry short to medium term. Long term, of course, a lot of things can happen. But if anybody here, me, you, or anybody who is watching or is going to watch, knows when a black swan is coming, and I'm not saying the day, I'm saying the week or even the quarter, please let me know, because I'm going to give you a lot of money so you can play some bets on it.
There is another part of this. So if the stock market of Japan is going up, it means that their inflation will pick up, right? And at some point in time, what they will have to raise interest rates, right? And like, how is that gonna be even remotely bullish for the other markets if they will do that? So this is what I have a puzzle right now, but I don't know how to put it together. That's the thing. I don't think I have everything yet. That's why I'm not gonna say.
We will never have everything. We will never have everything.
Yeah, but with all the printing in US, with like Bank of Japan doing what it does, like with inflation in Japan, all this stuff, it's kind of clear we're gonna go towards some kind of a bubble, and when that bubble is gonna burst, it's
not gonna be pretty. No, it's not gonna be pretty. But I can tell you what they're gonna do. What the central bankers have been doing for the last since 2008. They're gonna throw money at it. What do you think that they're gonna do? It's gonna be the debasement of the fiat. That's why you have to have strong assets, like sound money assets. Like, even I don't want to say gold. That's just a shiny rock in my opinion right now, because it's not moving in price. It's very manipulated by the big boys through paper contracts on COMEX and also on London exchange. However, I would hold strong assets that do very well when fiat is debasing, because I don't know if it's going to be in 2024, 2025, or 2026, but at some point in time, all these things that they are gathering, they're going to burst. Like, it's happening. There are cycles. And what do you think that they're going to do? They're just going to start the printing all over again. They're just going to throw the money. They're just going to throw money at the situation, and they're just going to panic. I don't know if they're going to throw the same amount of money.
Will it be enough this time? Because like the way I see it, the iceberg is like keep going up, and the Titanic it's like smaller and smaller, the way I see it. But I know they're going to print again, and I know they're going to throw money at it again. Is it going to be enough? That would be the question. And I don't know the answer yet. If it's going to be enough, probably it's going to go towards a bigger bubble, of course, and probably Balj is going to be right. What's going to happen with the hyperinflation and like Bitcoin going toward the million or something. So but we'll have to wait and see. But this is my thinking for long term. I don't know when it's gonna happen. It's important to know what to position in when these things happen. And you said pretty clearly, like hard assets at that point in time, and hopefully Bitcoin will be a hard asset at that point, and probably it will be for the market.
We had an interesting.
Yeah.
We had an interesting question from Daniel. I like your analysis on the big boys. Any thoughts on the Romanian exchange? Yeah, look at this on the bet on the Bucharest exchange rate. It's all time high, baby. So this is what's
I'm bullish on it as well. Yeah, I'm bullish on
it. I think that as long as it's going to stay.
Market.
Yeah, it's an emerging market, first of all, and as long as it's going to stay, not even this level. So even if it's going to pull back a little bit more, so even if it's going to drop, I don't know how and I don't know why, let's say it's going to drop 10%, as long as it's going to stay around above 14,500, I'm bullish on Romanian stock market also. It's lacking a lot of liquidity. It needs much more liquidity to be a very, at least an important player, but it might come. I see Franklin Templeton. I see maybe some satellites of BlackRock coming around. I think Franklin Templeton were the managers of Fondul Proprietatea listing from Hidroelectrica.
They're smelling the opportunity. Yeah, they're smelling the opportunity with Romania getting into Schengen and all the main infrastructure that is going to get and so on. I think they're smelling the opportunity in the Romanian market, and a lot of people are waiting for a big crash on the real estate in Romania. I don't think it's gonna really happen with all the things that are coming. I think it's gonna be hard to have a crash in the Romanian stock market. I still think it's an opportunity at this point in time on the long run.
I agree, and also with the rates going lower in the next few years, because the rates are going to drop in the next years. Looking at my indicator, the only one that I use right now, I think that this is one of the most bullish assets which I'm seeing from weekly and also to daily. It's crazy to say about this because people know I don't have a very good opinion because of the low liquidity in the Romanian stock market. But I think that the BET, so the Romanian Stock Exchange Index, I think is one of the most bullish indexes around the world right now. Looking at just at this, I think I don't know where it's going to stop as a rally. Of course, it can, but it can go much higher, much more higher than here.
Yeah. Okay, what altcoins are you looking at? And let's wrap it up with that because I have a few.
Sure. If you want to look at some altcoins, go ahead.
I have one interesting here. Of course, the AI coins that are going ballistic right now. Let's say I have. Let me share here. Boom. I have a Warcoin here. So wow.
This was crazy in the last few days, man.
I talked about this a couple of months ago, and I have a position in it in this range. I wanted to buy it lower, but I ended up buying around 3.2. I don't remember exactly, but I have a position in it mainly because there's no way for retail to have like some kind of like a position into some altman at this point. You cannot go into OpenAI and like because it's not trading on the stock market, So the only thing you can do is just see his like Warcoin basically, and you're not even investing in Warcoin, you're investing in WLD. So it's WLD basically in the token. But basically this is what happened. Like people really saw that this guy is doing something. Sora came in a couple of days ago, like
it's crazy what's happened.
Text to video, and then this happened because people was like, I want something from like I want some money to put on some altman. How can I do that? It's like I can't, right? The only thing that I can do is like buy this Warcoin, and the tokenomics on this is very, very smart. The way it was created for the bull market, because they only have 1.2% of the circulating supply right now in the market. So it means that if you have like buyers here, as you see here, that a lot of buyers came in, you don't need a lot of liquidity to pump this to like the moon and beyond, basically. And no unlocks are due till July. So probably this is gonna perform like, I don't know, Dodge sheep from the previous cycles till that point in time. When the supply is gonna come in, probably it's gonna be faded out. But I think a top 50, top 40 should be in cards.
Was the current circulating supply of this?
I think 100 something million.
Wow.
I think Yeah, 100
Wow,
million. So it's 1.2% of the total.
Jesus Christ.
It's like, yeah,
that's a good supply to be in.
like,
and
yeah,
until they have the next release.
Yeah, looking at hindsight, this was a very easy play. Like just looking at hindsight, this was a very easy play. Will it perform long term? Hell no. Hell no. Like this, when the supply is gonna come back into the market, this is probably not gonna perform very well. Well, till that point in time is a party here. It can go, I don't know, 9, 12. But yeah, this already played out. What I'm looking now, it's more that what is like very well positioned. So I have here Filecoin, and I think I tweeted about it. I think Filecoin might finally find the cure for cancer before Vladimir Putin, most likely, here at some point. Like, it's positioned very well. If you look at the structure, you'll be like, maybe. You can see here some kind of a double bottom formation for Filecoin. Once it is going to break above $8-9, probably you're going to blink, and it's going to be probably around 17-18 because there's no more sellers above probably this level. Is it a good long-term play? No. Filecoin as a company is very good. They have profit, they have everything that you want on a company, but you don't invest in company. You invest in like the coin, and the coin has a huge inflation. This is not a good long-term play, as WorldCoin is not a good long-term play, but as a setup, it might be there, it might be there. So it's something that I'm watching. Another one is Theta, or whatever you want to call it as well. This one like dropped a lot during the bear market, and now it looks kind of like this. It looks like another formation of a possible breakout here for Theta. It looks very good. Break above 1.4, you blink, it's gonna be probably towards $4 Theta. So it's very good position here. You just need some more liquidity here. This is very interesting because there's only a billion of these coins. Like, they have a max supply of 1 billion. All of them are in the market right now. So all
that's
the
a very
coins
good. That's a very smart. That's a very smart thing to say there. Very nice.
Yeah. So I think once this will break above this level, it's gonna fly probably. But it needs to go above this. So it's like the positioning is very, very good on Theta, and I hold this. I think it's the only coin that I'm down basically right now. I think I have an average because I did some DCAing on it. I think I have an average on the $2 range for Theta. But I think once it breaks above this, even though you want to trade it or not, or like swing trading or whatever, this looks decently positioned for like some kind of a breakout zone. So I'm looking at this one as well, and I can see they're moving some rocks here and there. In relation to like some AI, some new stuff that are coming, some airdrops and so on. So I think this is very interesting to keep an eye on. And I think another one is the Romanian one, the EGLD. I think this is interesting as well. So you look at it, this is kind of ready as well. Kind of ready. I think it's a matter of time until we're going to see this above 100 probably. And we talked about this previously. I think you had a 130, right, on this. 129, 130, I don't remember.
No, it's 100 is the first target based on what I had, and 152 is the nemesis of it. It's like it has
so
like
152. So kind of this level here, somewhere. So I think this is ready as well, and it's more liquidity. But I think first breakout of this bear market structure, some reaccumulation here at the 48.50, and now it's like grinding up. I think it's there. So these are the coins that I'm looking a little bit at right now for the setups. And of course, there is DOT as well. If you look at Polkadot, this one is the same. Like, they kind of look the same. So once this will break above 9.3, you're going to blink and you're going to see this probably 14-15. This is there, but if you look at it from this perspective, this might still pull back like in this range before it's going to break out. Depends when altcoin season will really start. If it starts now, probably it's going to break out now. If not, in a few months, it's going to pull back, do some kind of scenario like reaccumulation again, and probably come back up to this level 14-15, maybe a little bit higher. What else is interesting? I think Zilliqa might be some kind of pattern here. I don't really like it that much, to be honest. I don't really like it, but still needs to break above 2.7 cents here in order to be be interesting. What are you looking at in relation to altcoins right now? The ones that are like, I know the setup is not really played out. Do you have something on the list?
Yes. Wait just 1 second.
I had another one. Let me see. I have which one was it? Let me see if I remember. Yeah, Aptos. I think Aptos is on my list as well. For some kind of a swing position. Look at this. Like, looks ready.
So when it's gonna take out those weeks from there and it's gonna
yeah, I think I have a 10.4. 10.4. I think this is one to watch as well, like Aptos, in order for
I think it can blast like 30-40%. What's the next level? 3.5. Yeah, 35% there until 13.5.
Yeah, probably in this range here. Very good.
I think it can propel itself. I think it can rally very fast there. I was looking also at Elrond, if you can allow me to share the chart, because I think it's on the same on the same pattern that we were watching, and I made that big trade a few weeks ago. I don't know if it's weeks since then.
Okay, let me just add you to the perfect.
So let me remove this area first. I have the nemesis there. It's a low, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low. And right now, as long as it's going to stay above 53 area, 54 and change, I really like that it stayed above 48. I think that the next level, it's 65. It was an important level before, as we can see from here. So two big resistances, 65 area and 78, which is the previous higher high. In order to go higher, so for me, it's very simple, 65, 78, 100. This is the next target, and it can happen at any point in time when they announce something, or if it's just gonna continue with the Bitcoin being stable and some money flowing into this. I like how it's looking. Bullish above 50, between 48 and 53, 48 and 53 area. I'm bullish, and much more bullish above 68 and very bullish 65 and very bullish above 78. And I think these are the next targets.
And I think that the economics is not bad either for this one. So I think it might have a I think it might have a chance to run. And I've seen some projects coming on now that are really promising on MultiversX. So I think it's really I think it's really gonna help it probably grow further. What else? Do you look for something newer, basically, because someone asked on Twitter?
I was looking at this for quite some time, right? Because people forgot about BNB, and this thread was doing on this cup and handle. It was around 308. It's still playing out very nicely. Since then, so since the breakout, it's around 14%. And I just think that the next logical target, of course, is gonna retest these previous highs from 350, but 420 is what I have on my mind, because this is the measure target, the projected measure target of this cup and handle.
420, baby.
Yeah, 420. Elon Musk is gonna love this target, right? So I have BNB. What else I had here? Something that it was really, really bullish. I liked Matic also. Let me see it from here.
Yeah, Matic really interesting because it stayed sideways for a while, and then once Arbitrum and Optimism went sideways, I think Matic really tried to run. I think it touched $1, right? Did it?
Yeah, $1 and
but now really looks for a pullback, I think.
It had some type of a pullback. I'm really bullish also on Matic here. I mean, it looks very, very strong. It's one of the coins that is on my list for trading. And Manta I had also. And guess what? One of your favorites.
The newer ones. Yeah, newer
ones. One of your favorites, Daniel. I'm going to hit you with something that you really like. Cardano, baby.
Oh, ADA. Yeah, ADA. I didn't mention it, but looks good, you know.
It looks really good. I have to say,
finally, it looks good. Yeah.
Yeah, it just flipped bullish. It closed above this area, which was around 0.62. I see that now it's retesting this area. I think that this is just some type of a reaccumulation. So from now, what I really want to see, I don't want to see it going back lower. I really want to see it from here, and I think 0.60.
I want to see it hold 60 cents basically. If it does that, I think $1 will be in play in the next period of time. I think they're waking up slowly, but it depends on Bitcoin. You know, if Bitcoin will not like that, will tumble and then and destroy all setups.
I want to bring an altcoin to your attention and also to the people who are watching, because I think that Stefan was asking for it. Mintler, I really like it. some people I know already started accumulating it. And I really think that this has a lot of potential, has a strong narrative behind it, has a strong team behind it. Since 0.20, it was really, really interesting. And it starts doing the same patterns that it has done before. So as you can see, just rips higher, reaccumulates, goes sideways for some time. So the same thing that happened before, goes sideways for some time, and after that just blasts higher. I really like mint layer. I think it can be one of the altcoins which really rally, and it can be one of the most interesting.
Yeah, let's see if we retest that trend line and
the target. The target for this bull run is around $6 for me for this one. I was looking at the economics. I really studied it, and I really think it has a nice potential.
Yeah, you talked about Binance. Pixel launched today on the launchpad, and probably that's why BNB did very well in the previous week. We'll see if other projects will be launched basically this month or next month on BNB, because it helps the coin. And as I told you, I have a lot of BNB, so let's see if it really let's see if it really gonna break out above that level of and going to 460 or 420 as you mentioned earlier. What else are you looking at?
Dimension right now is my biggest altcoin allocation. So
okay.
I really like how it's looking. My first entry was around 5.5, and another one I bought around 6.2. So I have a nice average around 5.7 right now, and I might even add on the next pullback as long as we stay in this range. I like how it's looking, and I think that 10 is just a matter of time.
Some AI coins. Do you look at Fetch, for example? Because I have a position in it.
Me too. I have a long on Fetch, and I think it just reached the take profit.
It looks amazing. Like if you go on weekly, it's gonna be. I think that chart is not really the one that you want to look at. I think it has that's a futures chart, right?
Yeah, because I was trading it. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This really looks good.
Really good.
Yeah, I think we can go above $1 and then 1.4, 1.5, maybe a target for it afterwards.
So yeah, we just need to close, I think, 1 week above the supply area, because this is a big supply area in my opinion. So
it is,
all these
some sellers might show up there. Yeah.
But I think
that once you break above it, once you break above that, it's like clear breakout, and it's like in price discovery. So going in price discovery, anything is possible. So
I agree.
So yeah,
but I think that once we're gonna take out this area from here where the market did not allow the price to take, so there was no acceptance above. Yeah. I think this has around above 1.04. I think above 1.04 this can really fly. I have a position on it, as you saw.
Same, yeah.
Even before I opened the chart on spot, I have a nice entry on it. It was closed. I think 75% out of it I was out. Yeah, 75% out of it I have it closed there, and I'm still in this position with break even, stop loss and break even. I really like it. I opened it since last night. This on the same considerations. Yeah, looks really good. I like it. Another one that I really like, and I think I'm gonna have some allocation on it, and I was watching it for quite some time. It had the same pattern as BNB. It was Arkham Intelligence.
Okay, I haven't. What is it? Oh, Arkham. Yeah. Okay.
But I need to see the spot one to show you what I have on it. Yeah. So.
Oh, nice breakout on the channel. Yeah, some kind of cup on handle again.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's in price discovery right now. So even if it's gonna go to the previous all-time high,
very volatile.
Very volatile. So if it's gonna do something like this, is good. I think this also is very, and it has an amazing team, has big backers. I think there were people who worked before in some big corporations. They're from United States. Low total and circulating supply. I think this can be also very interesting. Agix just did some crazy stuff also. All the AI coins really.
Yeah, same as FUD. Yeah, same as FUD. The AI hype is real. So. The AI hype again is real. Probably is going to continue. It's going to continue.
Render also. It's a good one.
Oh, I have Render. Yeah, I have Render. I'm not going to touch it. Probably my target is above 10 on Render.
Good job, man.
Render is kind of AI, but it's not fully AI. So it's like in between, basically. I would say.
Falls there.
Render. Yeah. But Render looks very good. I will not touch it till 10, and then probably I'll get out a little
Oh
bit.
wow! Wait a second. Render is in price discovery.
Yeah. It can go. It can go.
I was not aware that it's in price discovery. I mean, oh yeah. Oh, it's not. So it still has.
Oh no, it's not. Yeah, okay.
But look at this weekly. Look at this weekly close, man. This is weekly close. It's very strong.
It's gonna be soon in price discovery, probably.
Yeah. So 777 days. I think I'm not gonna say this week, but maximum 2 weeks. I think this is gonna break $8. But just by the way it's looking.
Yeah, it's looking great. It's looking great.
Looking very strong. I also have a long on it.
Let's see if the rest of the market will follow, and probably if Bitcoin will stay stable above 50K, probably the rest of the market would follow, and a lot of liquidity will flow in out of the sudden in a lot of altcoins in the next couple of weeks. So it's going to be interesting to follow up. I think we're gonna leave it here. I think it's gonna was a very, very good episode. 1 hour and 48 minutes here. Let's see. I think we're above 100 likes here, and we had probably 165 people here. So it was not bad at all on YouTube. And we had a few people on X as well. I saw a couple of questions. Maybe next time we're gonna delve more into those questions from Twitter. 123 likes. If you like the content, you can find the button here, and I'm gonna show you again, because this is really helps the channel. And as you can see, we broke the 700 people here subscribe on the channel, so it's very good, very, very good. We're going towards 1,000 soon enough, and hopefully we're gonna probably fly from there, as most of the altcoins in the next period of time, right, Mr. Spread? We're gonna just fly.
I hope so. And like I said, I don't have any worries right now. Of course, at any point in time, something can happen out of the blue. But when the market looks so good, when S&P looks so good, traditional markets look good from Japan. You also saw Romania, for God's sake.
Yeah, it's as I said, we're kind of going towards a bubble, then a crash. So I think bubble first, and then we'll have to see what's going to happen. But the way it looks, probably for a couple of months, is going to be still stable. We'll see after what's happened after May and June, if things are really going to look the same, or we're going to have some kind of a black swan scenario, and so on. Another good thing would be end of the war, in Ukraine. If that will happen again, the markets will react very bullishly, and that might be the scenario which is going to pop up the bubble or something when the war is going to end. But we'll see. You don't think it's going to end, right?
I don't think it's going to end until Trump takes office.
Okay. I don't know. My view is it might end before, but we'll see. Because the Democrats will probably lose a lot if Trump will come in as like, okay, I'm ending the war. So I don't think they will give him that opportunity, but we'll see how this is going to play out. But yeah, thank you guys for an amazing show again, the Monday kickoff. We're gonna see each other probably in 2 weeks, if nothing really. Sure. If something would happen, of course we're gonna do one next week if something very important will happen. If not, you can follow me on Twitter. You can follow Mr. Spread on Twitter, exactly how you see it on the screen. Real Daniel Nita and Mr. Spread. You can find us on Twitter, or you see the down below. You have it in the description, and we can keep in touch, right, till sure. Next time. Perfect.
Daniel, thank you, man. Thank you for hosting this. Thanks for everybody who are here with good comments, with any kind of comments. It just helps the algorithm. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and thank you for supporting the channel and for enjoying our content. Thank you for being with us. Have a wonderful week and trade well.
Bye, guys.